Hi, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your Tabata HIIT circuit. Normally, we do our Tabatas as either traditional 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Today, we're going to go for a little super Tabata and add in a slight cardio challenge. So, we're going to have 40 seconds of work, and instead of 20 seconds of rest, I'm going to make it just 15. So you have a lot of time to recover. Remember, you can always take an extra break if you need to during the exercise itself, and then jump back in when you're ready. I encourage you to have some water nearby. Maybe turn some great music on. I'm just going to check on things here on the internet. I'm working on with a new phone today, and I am not tech savvy, everybody. In fact, spent multiple hours at the store uh, trying to get everything working and going. The lady at T-Mobile started calling me grandma because I'm that bad. All right, let's begin as per usual. Getting away from your desk, give yourself a nice lateral side to side step tap. Maybe if you got some music on, you're dancing it out, starting with some gentle shoulder rolls in one direction. And as you're ready, we're just going to change those shoulder rolls to the opposite direction. I want to make sure that we warm up that shoulder complex. So right now we're getting a little inner outer thigh work happening. Awesome. Go ahead, plant your feet. Let's bring that warm up focus to the chest. So just open and then crossing your arms. I'm doing the best that I can, and I hope that you are too, with bringing those pinky fingers as close together behind us as possible, keeping the weight already in our heels for 3, 2, 1. Let's go for some individual shoulder circles, just a little bit larger range of motion than you might have gotten a moment ago. Go ahead, change the direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now opposite side. If you're having any trouble with your shoulder, instead of going for that really big range of motion, which might hurt, you can think about letting your elbow lead, still gently warming up through the shoulder. Once you've got 5, go ahead, change direction of those shoulder rolls. You're awesome. Woo, go ahead, shake it out for a second, and let's start to get those heart rates up. So I want to see you get some fast feet on. I'd love to see you, but let's be real. I can't. uh, due to the powers of the internet. But to get your heart rate going a little bit more, I suggest you move a little bit forward and take a couple steps backwards. Sorry, I realize right now, gently cutting my head off in this video. That's okay. We're seeing the important stuff. Go ahead, open those feet a little bit wider. Take your march wider. Maybe you slow down, just forward and back. We got about 10 more seconds right here. And then we're going to go for just 10 air squats. In 3, 2, 1, plant those feet, transfer the weight to your heels, lower down, press back up. Whatever direction your knees are in, your toes are going in the same direction. Maybe you have your hands right here at your waist. I like to bring my hands in front of my chest when possible for squats to encourage myself to keep that chest lifted and open and to squeeze those shoulder blades so the back is engaged. Let's get 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And then go ahead, plant your feet. Oops, sorry, Uncle Buck. One more time. Let's just warm up those hip flexors just a little bit, a couple of forward and backward kicks. If you find that your balance is really challenged, go ahead, place your hand on something and switch legs. Hopefully you already felt that heart rate start to come up just a little bit. We're going to switch to some tic-tac legs, so just crossing it over from the front, a little bit more warming through the glutes for 3, 2, 1, and then other side. Last 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Let me tell you about the first move that we're doing today. I encourage you to come back into a march or some sort of a shuffle or maybe a twist. while I'm describing things so your heart rate doesn't just come on down. So our first move is going to be a half burpee or a squat thruster with an overhead press. I'm going to start with a lighter weight because I want to be smart for my shoulder today. We got 4 rounds though. So as you start to feel a little bit more warm, flexible, loose, and comfortable, consider increasing the weight if that's an option for you to make sure that you're feeling the challenge. But I'd rather you start smart, even if this is just a body weight move for you. All right. So weight in your hands. At the top of the mat, we're going to give ourselves a hammer curl. So palms facing in towards each other, elbows start close by the side, and then an overhead press. Make sure that your weight is not so heavy that when you give yourself an overhead press, there's a big arching in your back. That means your weight is too much for you. So find something a little bit easier. So we have a hammer curl, overhead press, belly in. We're going to hinge forward. If you don't have anyone living below you, you get to jump back. Otherwise, we're going to step back into a plank. So try not to step back into a down dog. Keep those hands palms under shoulders, then step back forward. Hammer curl, overhead press. We got 4 rounds just like that. They start in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So belly stays in, core is contracted. Hammer curl, overhead press, lower hands down, hinge forward, step or jump back, take that plank, step or jump forward. Which leg did you lead with if you are like me and stepping back? Currently, stepping back with the right leg. I just want to make sure that we change it up a bit. So whether you change which leg you're stepping back with each time or you wait until the next round, what's happening with your overhead press as well. I want you to think about your elbows like they're on an elevator driving straight up. Don't let them tweak out to the sides. Now you got 15 seconds to just dance it out. Dance to that imaginary music in your head. I'm going to switch, make sure that left leg leads this time as I step back into that plank. Here we go. So overhead press, hinge forward, belly in, left leg steps back, bring it right back in. You're probably able to get a couple more rounds in if you're going for that jump back as opposed to a step back. Slightly more challenging. You can still get some great work just stepping back into the plank. If you're having trouble on your wrists holding on to the weights while you step back into the plank, you can always put them down, hands come to the floor, step back, step forward, grab your weights, and then find that press. Take a break. I'm going to switch to those heavier weights now for the last 2 rounds. Shake it out, shake it out. For 3, 2, 1, here we go. Starting in that plank, stepping forward. Just try to keep a nice continuous movement going here. You got that rest interval in just about 20 seconds. So challenge yourself to keep moving here for the full 40 seconds. Whether that means that you need to slow down, that's okay. If you need to slow down, just keep going. You got to challenge yourself to see the change. Make sure those hips are dropping intentionally lower than your shoulders. Take a break. Take a break. We got one more time through, and then we're going to change up the move. Get a little bit more ab work going with our quads and glutes in the next round. Here we go. Last time through, leading with that opposite foot. How are those shoulders feeling? How's that chest feeling? Challenging myself here in the last 20 seconds to intentionally and quietly find that little extra push. Jumping back definitely makes it a little bit harder. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. We made it. All right. I'm going to put the weights out of the way. I'm going to move my mat out of the way for this next move too. We've got a back lunge into a knee drive. So we're going to stick with one leg, and then we'll switch it up in a future round. Can you find a little balance here? So either just a step back or truly bringing that back knee down towards the floor into a knee drive. If you want, you can even add in a hop as that leg comes forward. Let's go ahead and get started. Back lunge to knee drive in 3, 2, 1. All right, so if you're pretty advanced, that probably made a lot of sense. Otherwise, maybe you need to step your feet together and find that knee drive. I want you to think about bringing that back knee close towards the floor, but making sure that your front knee does not go past your toes. Where is your weight? It should be in your front leg heel. As you bring this back foot down for your lunge, do so as quietly as possible. So no slamming, feet down towards the floor. You got 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Good news, bad news is we're going to stick with that same leg one more time before we switch it up to the other side. That's right. I'm a clapper. All right. Shake it out. Grab that quick sip of water if you want. And let's start again. So lunge. Maybe you add in that hop this time. Last time through on this side. Where are you feeling it? Feeling it big time through this front stabilizing leg. Oh, just about 10 seconds left. Stay in control. Oh, wow. How are you doing? I bet you're doing great. For 3, 2, 1. The good news is that's the last of the lunges you're going to have to do on that leg. Let's switch to the other leg. Remember, both sides of the body are not the same, so just do the best that you can. Here we go. Begin. So maybe you start slow, step back, feet together, find that knee drive. Really focusing on keeping the weight in the front heel. So you're lifting up by pressing into that front heel and squeezing that glute, not by pushing off of your back foot. So while you're balancing on this leg, see if you can bring that knee to drive straight up without tapping that toe down to the floor. And remember, as we step back into the lunge, we're stepping back into a quiet lunge. Oh, we made it. We got one more time through. Move number 2. I am sweating, and I hope you are as well. If you're not, ask yourself how you can increase the challenge. Ready for one last time? Me too. So even as I hop here, I'm working to hop with control. I'm really squeezing my glutes, my quads, engaging through this front stabilizing leg so that I'm still landing quietly on the floor. Remember, if you need to take a quick break, if you find that you're really wobbling all over the place, take a second, recenter yourself, come back in as you're ready. Oh, we made it. We made it. Mayday, mayday. Bringing the mat back out. All right, we started with that squat thruster like a burpee. Next up, we've got an inchworm with a lat raise. You may find that for this lat raise, this weight's going to be too heavy for me in 2 hands, but maybe you can lift a slightly heavier weight holding the head of the dumbbell with one hand. So you're going to find that front lat raise for round 1. Belly in tight, hinge forward, walk yourself forward into a plank. Shift shoulders forward, walk yourself all the way back, plant your heels, stand up, front raise. Or you can hold on to 2 weights in each of your hands. We start in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So front lat raise just to shoulder height. Hinge forward, put the weights down, walk yourself out into that plank. Shift weight forward. Bring those hips down. Walk yourself back in. Stand up. Front lat raise. Up to you if you want to have your palms facing towards each other or palms facing down towards the floor as you come into that raise. But your back is engaged. Your chest is engaged. You're working. You're not just noodle arming through it. Oh, we made it through round one. For round two, just changing up the move a little bit. Instead of that front raise, we're going to go for a side lat raise. You ready? I'll start with that side lat raise. Here we go. So out to the side, still to shoulders height. Hinge forward, belly in, walk yourself forward, shift shoulders, plank. Walk yourself back, weight in heels, grab your weights, lift your chest, side lat raise. Ooh, shift. Make sure you're finding that shift forward. So you're not just walking forward into a down dog. You're walking forward and actively coming into your plank. If you're going to take an extra second here, take an extra second, see if you can catch your breath in your plank. Great. Round three, we're going to mix up the front and side lat raises. We're going to do one of each. So a front raise, a side raise, and then go into your plank. You ready? Chest lifted, back squeeze, belly in, front raise, side lat raise. Now, depending on how heavy your weights are, maybe you come into the front and side lat raise a little bit faster, or if your weights are really heavy, maybe you're coming in a little bit slower. You can do whichever one first that you want. Make sure as you're standing back up at the back that you shift your weight into your heels. Sweat is dripping into my eyes. Come on, time for one last time through. We made it. For the last round, changing up the front side lat raises. One last time, we're going to do one of each. So alternating front and side, alternating front and side, then into your inchworm. You ready? Let's go. Front side lat raise, front side lat raise, hinge, walk it out. Shift those shoulders and then come on back through. Little squat opportunity. This time, I do have palms facing down towards the floor for both the front and side lat raises. This is our last time through on this move. We're getting some quality range of motion. Ah, we made it, everyone. Go ahead, put those weights to the side because we don't need them at all for the rest of today's exercises. Grab a quick sip of water if you want. Let me tell you what's coming up next. Again, we're going to mix up the moves just a little bit. If you can jump, I encourage you to add that little plyometric into this next activity. We're going to go for a squat with the pulse. Going for a slightly narrow squat as opposed to my favorite, the goddess squat. So feet just a little bit wider or about shoulder width distance apart. We're going to squat down, pulse, lift ourselves up, and you can either jump or just press all the way up onto the balls of your feet. We're going to do that 2 times, and then we're going to add that lift in the balls of our feet while we're down in the squat, but I'll show you when we get to it. All right, so you don't need any weights, but if you want to, you can always hold weights on your shoulders here in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So squat down, pulse, lift up, press up on your toes, or squat down, intentional pulse, jump at the top. So while you're jumping, you're not slamming down on the floor. My neighbor has no idea that I'm doing jump squats because I'm really working on contracting through the legs to minimize any sort of slam down to my carpet. And if that's scary at all, just find that press up and then come into your intentional pulse at the bottom. Oh, take a break. Shake it out. Felt that in the hips, so giving myself some nice hip circles. Same thing. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'll even put some weights on my shoulders this time. So we're going to squat down, pulse, lift up, press up on the toes. Or find that hop. You do little alternating, one of each, because we're going to have to press up onto those toes for rounds 3 and 4. Whoa, this is some work, everyone. 5 seconds left. Make sure for the squat portion, you got the weight in your heels, not the balls of your feet. Great. Let me show you how it's going to change. I'm going to get rid of those weights. We're going to squat down. Lift up your heels. Lower heels. Lift yourself up. Ready? Let's do it. So squat, stay low, press up onto the balls of the feet, heels release down, stand. Squat, lift up, lower, stand. If you want, you can even add in that extra little squat raise or jump, squat raise, calf raise at the top. Doing my best to keep that chest lifted here too. Feel this big time, working those quads here as we come into that calf raise at the bottom. Those quads have to work to stabilize here as well. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We'll turn to the side to get a slightly better visual. This last time through, we just got one more full round of moves after this. Ready? Find that squat. So squat, lift up onto the balls of the feet, lower heels down and up. Squat, heel raise, stand. Or remember, you can add in that jump at the top or an extra calf raise. What fun that I intentionally let you bring some weight to the front of your foot. Do you like it? Really challenges that balance a little extra. If you're super struggling, lift one foot up at a time and just alternate pressing onto the ball of the foot while you're down. You made it though. We're going to come all the way down to our mat for the last full round of Tabata. We're going to do a push-up to a plank jack. And you can do this whether you're doing your push-ups on your knees or on your toes. I'm still going to do my push-ups on my knees, but I'm going to press up into that plank, and you can step or jump into that jack at the back. So even if you're here at tabletop, you can give yourself a push-up. You can step your feet back and tap, tap, or from your knees, give yourself that push-up, then up on your toes, and a jack. Last round in 3, 2, 1. Begin. So find your push-up, press up into your plank, jack at the back. Let's do 2 jacks at the back. Whew. Working into those shoulders again with these push-ups. Obviously, if you're jumping your jacks at the back, you're going to be able to get in a couple more rounds than those of us who are being mindful and not adding that jump. Try to take any extra wrinkles out of your neck right here for 3, 2, 1. Wow. Personally, I found that to be the hardest round while we're already worked and a little bit tired. How about you? Well, the great news is we get to do it again in 3, 2, 1. So even if you modified, you're coming into tabletop, remember you can still get that push up and then get any form of your 2 jacks at the back. I want you to really think about that plank form though. So even if you have to bring a knee down and get 2 taps and then switch it up, find your extension. We're not in down dog. That's the important thing. We are in a push up and then we are in a plank or a modified plank. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Halfway through. Whew. Woo! Great work, everyone. Let's find that third round in 3, 2, 1. Begin. You know, I've been so looking forward to summer, and now I remember during summer when it's warm with the air conditioning off, things get real sweaty in here. Halfway through. What do you need to do? How can you modify to just keep going? Remember, you can always bring those knees in. And from your half tabletop, find that jack. Take a break. We got one more time. One more time for you to get the opportunity to drip sweat onto your floor or mat. In 3, 2, 1. Great. Let's do it. Last 40 seconds of work. We're going to just do stretches after this because I know you've been working your abs this whole time with all of your planks and with stabilizing your body. Come on, finish strong with me right here. We got our last 10 seconds of work. Check on that form with your neck. Eye gaze gently forward of your fingers. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Come on back to tabletop. Give yourself a couple cat cows right here. Bring some love into your back, especially finding a little separation of those shoulder blades, a little arching of the spine. A couple more breaths, couple more times in each direction. A last time in each direction. Careful if your mat is getting real sweaty. I know mine is. We're going to open those knees nice and wide. Send your glutes back towards your heels. Walk your hands as far forward as feels right for you today. Head coming below your heart level. Slow down your breath. Slow down your exhale to bring your heart rate down. While we're here in child's pose, let's thread the needle to get a nice stretch through those shoulders. I know you worked them so hard today. Whichever arm you choose to start with, weave it under, palm facing up towards the ceiling. Continue to focus on that slow breath. Let's get 3 more slow breaths here. Once you finish that third breath, pass back through your child's pose. Thread the needle on the other side. All right, unthread your needle, walk your hands in, come back up into tabletop. Let's take a nice hip opener from here. So bringing one leg forward, shifting the weight forward if that's what's right for you, or you can keep things at your 90-90 and still get a great hip opener. We're going to do a hip opener. We're going to turn it into a hamstring stretch in 3, 2, 1. So walk your hands back, straighten that front leg. You can keep your hands down on the floor. If that feels too far, you can still feel that stretch in your hamstring. Sorry, there's so much sweat in my eye. If you lift yourself up. So just find what feels right for your body, for this side of your body today. Walk it back forward one more time, back into that hip opener. And this time we're going to add in a twist. So Keep your opposite arm down on the floor, whatever leg you have forward. Inhale that leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hand back down towards the floor. 2 more times. Inhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. Exhale, down to the floor. Inhale, 1 more time, stretch up. Exhale, bring it down. Tuck your back toe under, lift up, little high flying dragon, and then step your front foot forward, pass through a plank, step your opposite leg forward, high flying dragon to start with, and release your back knee down towards the floor. Untuck your toes, just relax and release. And your hip opener right here. You're awesome. You did such a great job today. I know it. These were some challenging moves. Let's find that hamstring stretch. So start to walk your hands back, bring your glute a little closer towards your heel. Maybe your toe even lifts up off of the floor to get into that calf a little bit more as well. Let's take 2 more breaths and then walk it forward again. Time to find that little twist 3 times. Inhale, whichever leg you have forward, that arm comes up. Exhale, hand back down towards the floor. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it down. 1 more time. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it down. Lift your back leg up. We're going to step that back leg forward. Take a moment in your squat. Transfer your hands or your elbows to your thighs for a little Malasana horse pose. Drop one shoulder forward, stretching those inner thighs right now. And those glutes, drop your opposite shoulder forward. Bring your hands down to the floor. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. We can stay right here with this nice wide leg forward fold. Take your glutes though. Think about if your glutes are stretching all the way towards the back of the room. And then stack your glutes right on top of those heels, or where they would be if they were under you. But now let's heel toe those feet in a little closer together. Take a bend of your knees, slowly roll yourself up. At the top, we'll get a stretch for the lats. So inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms relaxed down by your side. 1 more time. Inhale those arms all the way up overhead. Really reach for the ceiling. Look up, find that stretch on your belly, and exhale, take your time. Release your arms by your side. Awesome. Thanks for sticking around for an extra second to just finish those stretches out. I hope you had a great sweaty time today. If you have any questions or concerns about what we did, I know you'll reach out. Can't wait to see you on Wednesday for core end stretch, where we'll focus a little more specifically just on those abs. And have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody.